wow, this has to be like one of the most controversial NASCAR races I've ever seen since 2015 Talladega race back in the fall. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again. Welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the 2020 YellaWood 500, or we should rename it the 2020 Pain 500, because man, this race had its ups, and then at the ending of the race, it had its downs. But we're going to get to all that later. We're going to get to all the controversy and stuff, so that's why we're having five parts of this episode where we're just going to start off reviewing the top 10 drivers, the top 10 winners, or not the top 10 winners, but the top 10 drivers. We're going to rate the race. Then we're going to be looking at the playoff standings because 3 drivers are in a must-win situation going into the Roval. Well, 4 actually. And then after that, we're going to be talking about we're going to talk about all the wrecks. We're going to be talking about the wrecks because I'm very angry at the moment. Well, not at the moment, but a few hours ago about one of the wrecks that my favorite driver was in. I'm pretty pissed off. And then finally we're going to be talking about the controversy and showing you guys of what truly happened. So it's going to be a pretty long episode. I wouldn't be surprised if this episode's 30 minutes. I doubt it. I'm trying to keep it under 30 minutes, but yeah, let's go ahead and review our top 10 drivers. Finishing in first was Denny Hamlin, or so people think. But yeah, just a lot of, attrition, I would say. Like, Hamlin just played the strategy and the numbers game to run the back until they were locked in. And also, I'd like to remind you guys, but this is the first win Toyota has gotten at Talladega since Denny Hamlin won at Talladega back in 2014. So, wow. It's been a while since we've seen Toyota go back to victory lane in Talladega Superspeedway, but some drivers don't even think that he should be in victory lane. But, but for Hamlin, something's just worked out. They finally got one back for them because they were behind Harvick with by 3 wins, and now Hamlin gets the 7th win after, almost winning at Las Vegas last week. But I bet this win was very unexpected, to say the least. But I bet he's just proud of his team and said, today they were just obviously thinking about JGR and stuff, and I bet they're just really excited about this one. Once again, this was very unexpected for sure. They were crashing in front of them, and obviously. But this is what Hamlin said in this interview. I'm going to read it right here. Obviously, I got forced down there just like the 21 Matthew Benedetto and others did. There were a bunch of us that all crashed down there. Well, we're going to get to that at the ending of this episode, but that is what Hamlin said in his interview, and I can kind of vouch for that. But not really. I'm just going to fight against that, but still, congratulations, Denny Hamlin. Sort of congratulations. Dang, this is hard to say. I should have started off with that to start off this episode, but hey, I was really thinking I want to get this done tonight. But yeah, overall, Denny Hamlin had a pretty decent day, and he's like the best Toyota on the super speedways because all his other teammates are trash. But yeah, so a pretty decent job for Denny Hamlin. I don't know what else to say. Finishing in second was Erik Jones. Actually, Matt DiBenedetto technically finished second, but because he forced William Byron down below the double yellow line, they took it away from it, and now he has finished in the 21st position. So Erik Jones goes from 3rd place to 2nd place. So, if you're still wondering, we'll talk about that at the ending. But yes, Erik Jones getting in second, I bet it was good for them. Obviously, they wish they could have won it there at the end, trying to do what Chase Briscoe's doing, auditions to look for who's going to sign him next year, but I don't know where Erik Jones is going to go. But, they had to throw a big block, and, they got on the wall, but still came back and finished second. I bet it was a good day. Their car was pretty strong. Their Camry had good speed, and, they led a lot of laps, though. They did. They did lead some good laps, and they just didn't totally play out at the end. You can't ask for a lot more, but they were there and coming to the line, with a shot to win. But hey, a pretty decent day for Erik Jones and the 20 team. That should have won. Finishing in third was Ty Dillon. I think this is Ty Dillon's first top 10 of the season, so congratulations, even though it's a restricted play. Anybody could get a top 10 if you just gotta stay out of the big one and play strategy. But yeah, I bet it feels great for them. Like, I'm sure, everyone's aware of their team announced it's selling, and it has been sold. Like, the relationship between, Ty Dillon, Geico, and Germain Racing, and all the employees of Germain Racing, it's coming to an end, and then they all promised each other when it was announced that they would give, they would give everything they had till the end. Like, I heard this was a statement from their team. Like, I can't thank everyone. I bet Ty Dillon just can't thank everyone enough. I'm trying not to get emotional, even though it's Ty Dillon's team. Like, I do feel bad for him because he's not gonna have a ride, and he's not really a Cup Series driver. Well, not really a good Cup Series driver. He only has like one win in the Xfinity Series. In 2016, he should have gotten a win, but he didn't. But that's it. And and he said that he was thankful for the opportunity and hopeful, for the next opportunity. Like, we don't know where Ty Dillon's going to go next year. Inspired Motorsports could be an option, but we'll see. But, hopefully some of them can get to work again. But, yeah, but hopefully this race propelled some of them to get new opportunities next year as, while they're searching. So, I hope for the best for Ty Dillon, because really he's not really impressed me, but he's done pretty good. He has 2 stage wins in his career, just one less than Jimmy Johnson. But yeah, Ty Dillon's a pretty decent driver, not the best, not the worst, but he's okay, mediocre at best. But yeah, pretty good day for Ty Dillon, number 13 team. Finishing 4th was William Byron. I bet it's tough to not get the win today, but to finish 4th is good. It's just unfortunate for them. They had a really good run there on the final lap. He got a good push from Denny Hamlin in turns 1 and 2 that set that up. Like, he was able to get to Chris Buescher and push him, and then found some daylight on the bottom to have a run at Matt Benedetto. Unfortunately, he blocked Byron there and put them below the yellow line. Unfortunately, though, they were able to save it and still finish in the top 5. So I bet today was a good run for them. They really needed to finish a race that after the last couple weeks, and I bet it's good to have a result like today, because the last 2 weeks have just not been good for William Byron. Having a DNF at Bristol, because of Christopher Bell. Well, not because of Christopher Bell. I think some other driver that got into Christopher Bell, that Christopher Bell got into William Byron, and then, last week, Christopher Bell again to William Byron. So, yeah, I bet that was pretty frustrating the last 2 weeks. But hey, made up for it, got a top 10. So, pretty decent day for William Byron in the 2014. Also, Chad Knaus's last Talladega race as a crew chief. Finishing in 5th was Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott had a pretty good run today. I really was hoping him or DiBenedetto or Chris Buescher or Byron or would get the win and stuff. But hey, it is what it is. Chase Elliott had a pretty decent day, And then he did get pushed below the double yellow line. NASCAR thought that he did go under by himself trying to advance his position, but no. Chris Buescher got pushed him under, so they reversed the penalty. So instead of Chris Buescher finishing 5th, they gave that, or actually Chris Buescher finished 8th. So instead of giving that penalty to Chase Elliott, they reversed it back to Chris Buescher, which is good, but still a bit of controversy there at the end. So we'll talk about it at the ending, but still a pretty decent day for Chase Elliott. I know he wanted a win, trying to get his 2nd win on a super speedway in his Cup career. Finishing in 6th was Ryan Newman. Coincidence? I don't think so. But still, a pretty decent day for Ryan Newman. I think he did earn that 6th place position because, after all that super speedway stuff, at Daytona and Talladega and stuff, I think he did, or just Daytona, I think he did earn a top 10 finish after having that horrifying crash at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, pretty decent day for Ryan Newman. It would have been awesome if he got a win on the super speedway, but yeah, get what you get, don't throw a fit. But there's really not that much to say, but yeah, a pretty decent job for Ryan Newman. Finishing in 7th was Tyler Reddick. Reddick had some issues at the beginning of the race. Him and Christopher Bell on the first lap when they were in turn 3 got into each other, and that ended Bell's day. But then Reddick was still able to keep going. Reddick, his team, they worked really hard to keep him in the game when they got into some trouble, and I bet he really appreciates it. They got caught up in a wreck on lap 1 that changed their game plan a little bit when they got some nose damage from the 95 car, but his team was able to make all the repairs quickly enough to get them back in their normal strategy by the time the competition caution came out. And it was a lot about survival today for them with all the wrecks that were happening, and he was able to squeeze through a couple big ones, but also got caught up in a couple others. Luckily, nothing was bad enough to take them out of the race completely. They just stayed focused, fixed, and what they needed to each time, and kept fighting for every spot they could. It was a wild race today I bet for everybody, so I bet he's happy they were able to come home with a 7th place finish. So yeah, pretty decent day for Tyler Reddick in the 18. Well, a pretty rebounding day, so good job on Tyler Reddick in the 18. Finishing 8th was John Hunter Nemechek, and I think this is his second top 10 of the season. But yeah, John Hunter Nemechek, they managed to stay out of trouble the whole day, but the last caution forced them to pit for fuel. Same thing with Chase Elliott and some other drivers. But otherwise, they would have had a better shot at the win. Like, they still came away with a nice top 10 finish. So yeah, gotta take what you can get. That's gonna probably build some momentum for for next year. Seeing how Front Row Motorsports has really improved since what? I don't know, because it would have been awesome if John Hunter Nemechek or Michael McDowell could have won this race, because that would be the first win for Front Row Motorsports since 2013, when David Reagan also won at Talladega, but in the spring. So that would have been something, but hey, you get what you get, so pretty decent day for John Hunter Nemechek. Finishing in 9th was Brendan Poole. You're thinking, this is not Brendan Poole. This is a Cars 3 character. That is true, but I don't have a Brendan Poole car. In fact, I don't think they even sell Brendan Poole cars, because he runs in the back all the time. But hey, number 15, so that's the closest I can get. I couldn't even find a number 15 car I had. I don't even have an old Clint Boyer car. Whatever. But yeah, finishing in 9th was Brendan Poole. That's his first top 10 of his young NASCAR Cup Series career, so congratulations for him getting a top 10. And, he was running pretty decent. He kind of, ran in front of the lower line of during the race and kind of messed them up, so I bet some of the Chevys weren't happy, especially Ryan Preece. But get what you get, so congratulations on Brendan Poole getting your first top 10 in the NASCAR Cup Series at Talladega Superspeedway. And rounding up the top 10 and 10th is Ryan Preece. I bet it was a race today for them, like, to be able to bring home a top 10 finish in their number 37 car after the season they had, feels like a win. It like the season they have, it must feel like a win for them. I kind of wish they didn't have as much damage there at the end, and they could, give a little bit of a better push, but ultimately they needed fuel for the final overtime and needed to pit from the front anyway, so I bet he's proud of their, Kroger team to be able to fix the damage that they did have and keep them there at the front at the end. But they got 5 races to continue finishing out the season strong, and Preece said he's looking forward to ending this season on a high note, because we don't even know where Ryan Preece is going to be going, because JTG Auto Racing probably doesn't want him, because he has been doing actually worse than Daniel Hemrick, so we'll see. But pretty decent race for Ryan Preece. So now let's rate this race. Well, I said, like, in the beginning, like, this race had, had its ups and had its downs and stuff, had controversial things at the end, so I don't know what to give it. It was a little bit better than the spring race and stuff, so I don't really know what to say. So I'm gonna give this race a 9 out of 10. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Or 90 out of 100. So I'll just give it a 9 out of 10 race. It was a pretty decent race. Because all the restricted play races are really good. So I give it a 9 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. Now, let's look at the playoff standings after Talladega, as we have now one more race to go, the Charlotte Roval. And man, it's not looking for some of these drivers. Like, you have Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch, who already advanced by winning at Talladega and Las Vegas. I think Kevin Harvick is going to make it on points, so I'm going to say he's already advanced. Then you got Keselowski in 4th, Truex 5th, Elliott in 6th, Bowman in 7th. Then you have Joey Logano in 8th, right? Whew, man, right above the cut line. And then you have Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Clint Boyer, and Eric Almirola right below the cut line. These were the 3 drivers who I think will also be eliminated, but Kurt Busch did make it, so got it wrong. But hey, I got 3 out of 4, so yeah. But guys, Kyle Busch, he's only minus 21 points. I think he could make it out on points only if one driver, maybe like a Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, or Joey Logano, has a pretty bad day. But right now, these 3 drivers automatically have to win. So I don't think they're going to make it, because they're just not really good at road courses. They don't really have a road course history. So yeah, I think that I'm going to call it eliminated for them. But yeah, is your playoff standings after Talladega. You can take a screenshot or just take a picture, just write the names down or just look it up, or I don't know. But yeah, I just want to show you guys this is what the playoff standings looking like after Talladega. And man, could the reigning series champion be eliminated after the second round? Whew, man, Kyle Busch. Lady Luck is definitely not on his side, or in Kyle Busch's perspective, it's still 2020. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, so yeah, that's it. Now, let's move into the big ones. We're going to be talking about the big ones and stuff, like not all the crashes and stuff, but we're going to be talking about, well, I made that up. I just want to talk about one crash that has made me super mad. I just nearly flipped. Well, not that mad, but I was just very upset. Let's go ahead and take a look. Right there. That right there is why I am upset. Now, the reason I was upset was because Bowyer, Clint freaking Bowyer, I'm going to go on a rant here, guys, but Bowyer was just pushing Jimmy Johnson, and he could have just laid off the bumper of Jimmy Johnson because he saw Johnson was getting loose, but he never did. And instead, he just kept going and then just got Jimmy Johnson right into the side of Kurt Busch, and Kurt Busch flipped airborne, and really, that was like a near-death experience for Kurt Busch after just winning at Las Vegas last week, finally at his home track, and he said he was just like 50% chance thinking that he would retire after next year. Still, that, I know I don't mention this, but that was really stupid of Clint Bowyer. That is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen. Because you guys maybe don't know this, but during the Las Vegas race last week, Bowyer passed Jimmy Johnson on the outside, drove Johnson loose, nearly took him out, and then Jimmy Johnson just flipped him off. See, Jimmy and Clint Bowyer 2020 hasn't been it, because, you know, Clint Bowyer driving through Jimmy Johnson at New Hampshire, then Bowyer last week at Las Vegas, and now this. I am really getting sick and tired of Clint Bowyer that I don't really care if it stays in the 14 car or not. I will happily see Chase Briscoe because I don't want this 10 career win guy who most likely will not win another race, except for maybe Martinsville, see him keep doing something so stupid. I was just very frustrated. You took out my driver who had a really good car after that, and Jimmy was on the radio and he was very, very upset about it. He said like in Jimmy's tweet, he said, I know it's just plate racing, but that was just plain stupid. I know it was stupid because of Clint Bowyer, so that was my rant. I know it's short, but I was just very upset about that. You cannot make stupid mistakes like that. I don't care if it's plate racing. That was just plain stupid. You could have laid back off of Jimmy Johnson. I really don't care if you're trying to battle for stage points. You need to chill out. You need to chill out because that basically took Clint Bowyer out of this race, and that's why he's in a must-win situation going into the Roval next week. And I know he's not going to make it in, and I know he's not going to win because he sucks. But yeah, that was very frustrating. I feel bad for Jimmy Johnson. They had a really good day, and until this, yeah, I know. I just threw my car. I just can't think about it. But yeah, poor Jimmy Johnson. I don't hate Clint Bowyer. I'm just saying that was just really stupid. I just can't believe that. You're what, 39, 40 years old? Oh man, come on, Briscoe. Please drive the 14 car. Hopefully he's not as dumb. But yeah, that really got me frustrated. Now, let's move into the final segment of this episode. Let's talk about the controversy. Right here, you guys see it. Chase Elliott and Chris Buescher here at the end. You see Chris Buescher pushing the 9 car below the double yellow line, and that's how it was. So at first, NASCAR decided to use a penalty on Chase Elliott for running below the double yellow line, and when they first set the penalty, it's like they haven't even checked the footage of what happened. You could clearly see in that replay I just showed, which is properly owned by NASCAR. Don't worry, I'll put that in the description. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. But yes, you saw that Chase Elliott was coming up behind. Chris Buescher was right here. He was pushing the 9 car, forcing the 9 car to go below the double yellow line. NASCAR did not even check a replay. They just assumed, oh, hey, look at Chase Elliott. He went below the double yellow line. So at first, NASCAR was going to rule Chase Elliott with the 22nd place finish, but no, they checked back. A smart fine. They were smart back then. And then they decided Chris Buescher will now finish 22nd, and Chase Elliott will get his 5th place position back. So I'm glad NASCAR did that. But now let's get to the biggest controversy of the race from today. Now, the biggest controversy is right here. You see William Byron, Matt DiBenedetto pushing him below the WO line, but you got Denny Hamlin right here going right below the WO line, and you see there are 3 right here, and, you know, that's it, and stuff, and you go back to Chase Elliott. But yes, that should not have happened. Denny Hamlin should not have won this race. Let me play it back for you. So I'm going to play it a bit slower right here. So you have, let's watch Denny Hamlin in the 11. You see him right here. It doesn't even look like he was forced below the WO line. Even if he was, why didn't he come up the track sooner than that? That's something that NASCAR has not even checked. So the problem with that was that Denny Hamlin was coming right below it, and it barely even looked like that the 17 car Chris Buescher was even pinning him down. It didn't even look like that. And Hamlin was just running below the WO line, came up, he advanced his position, something you're not supposed to do. So really, Denny Hamlin should not have won this race. That was a complete BS call by NASCAR. The real winner should be good old Jones. That Jones boy. Eric Jones should have won the race. Now you're going to be wondering, but Matt DiBenedetto, he should have won the race. No, because I keep checking on my social media. People are saying, DiBenedetto should have won this race. F you, Denny Hamlin. No, here's the problem. Matt DiBenedetto wouldn't have won this race in turn 4. Because, well, I can't even find my William Byron car. I'll use this teammate for an example. So, pretend this is William Byron. You have Matt DiBenedetto. He was forcing him below the WO line, and Denny Hamlin was right back here thinking that he was about to wreck and came down. But he advanced his position. It kind of forced him, but as soon as he came down, he should have just go back up. Because this is what happened. He just came down, he just kept rolling, and then he came back up. But Matt DiBenedetto shouldn't have won this race either because he forced William Byron below the WO line. So the real winner should be the driver who finished 2nd place. It should be Eric Jones. Eric Jones should be the winner of this race. I hope NASCAR goes back, but rules are rules. That's it. This is the most controversial thing I've seen since 2015 Talladega in the fall. You know, if we can all recall Kevin Harvick just stopping. He didn't even try and go, causing Trevor Bayne the wreck, and then they caused a huge wreck, which could have injured somebody, but he wasn't even thinking. He was just thinking about his stupid self. He made the championship forward and didn't even win the championship, so I think that was all for nothing. And then that caused Joey Logano to win that race, and then, and everyone was pretty upset about that. So I haven't seen this controversial call since 5 years ago, and I wasn't even, 6 years ago actually. 5-6 years ago, and I wasn't even watching NASCAR back in 2015, but that was a controversial call at the same track. But it was a bit of a tough call, but I couldn't really call it. I'm not a NASCAR official, but I do believe Eric Jones was the true winner of the 2020 YellaWood 500. I don't think it was Hamlin. I don't even think it was DiBenedetto. I wish DiBenedetto would have won, but if DiBenedetto wouldn't have forced William Byron below the WO line, none of this would have happened. But I bet he was just trying to go for the win because he knew if Byron would have passed him on the inside, Byron would have most likely won the race. But yeah, that's about it on that. And also one more thing, NASCAR was talking about taking away the WO line violation, saying that's not a penalty, and Dale Jr. was talking about that after the race. So this could be something. I wouldn't really care or something, because rules are rules, but hey, if NASCAR Heat doesn't even do that in the real NASCAR games, then I don't know. Like, I bet they wish NASCAR Heat 5 was real, knowing how rigged it is. But yeah, should the WO line be taken away? I don't know. I don't care. I don't make the rules. NASCAR can do whatever they want. They can just list the rules and I'll follow them. That's all you gotta do. NASCAR makes the rules. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this long episode of NRR. We have the Charlotte Roval next week. And yes, I am going to Texas Motor Speedway next week to watch Jimmy Johnson at his last Texas race. Hopefully he can win. He's my pick to win that race because he's really good at Texas. Hopefully he doesn't slip or something. And yeah, so that's about it, guys. And also, I want to make a bit of a pun here. When Ricky Stenhouse Jr. you know, when he wrecked at Talladega, he really pancaked into the wall. Now that's why I'm doing episodes like this, because my comedian jokes aren't gonna work. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna wrap it up, and I'll make a round my championship 4 picks after the Charlotte Roval, seeing who the round of 8 is. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.